Hello, Atlantic Seaboard. My name is Noah Kalander, and I'm going to be doing the Dvar Torah for this week. So this week's Parsha is Emor, and in Emor, we learn that the Kohanim, Aaron and the Kohanim, and their descendants can't defile themselves by going and visiting dead bodies, doing anything like that. So in the first verse of this Parsha, it says, "And God said to Moshe, say to the Kohanim, the sons of Aaron, and say to them, he shall not defile himself through contact with death among his people." This means that the Kohanim are required to stay away from any contact with a dead body or even being around them. But they cannot even attend a funeral except of a wife, mother, father, an unmarried sister, brother, son, or daughter. And those are the only funerals they're allowed to come to. So there's actually kind of a weird thing about that verse and how it repeats "say to the Kohanim" several times, and also repeats "you shall say to them." Seemingly, one would this would be enough. You can say it to them once, and you don't need it more than once. It's kind of a straightforward kind of thing. But the Torah never says something that's not needed. So Rashi actually comments on this, and he quotes something from the Talmud that the repetition should be viewed as the following, which is, he said that say to them, you, each kohen, should say to them, and your children not to defile themselves. This means that you must say to each kohen not to extort or do anything with a dead body, and to teach their children the same thing. That he's repeating it to say, not only do you follow this, but you go and you teach your children. So there's actually a very important lesson that we learn from this. If parents wish to identify with their Jewish ideals and say, you know what, I want you to do this mitzvah, and I want you to follow this mitzvah, which I'm sure a lot of people our age deal with and have issues with, but they must be taught by people that know what they're doing themselves, and they're doing it themselves. You can't have someone say to you, keep Shabbat, but they're then on their phone texting on Shabbat. Kind of relevant. So you need people to follow their own ideals. Secondly, Jewish ideals occupy a very big place in a child's world. In North America, a lot of people, a lot of old Jewish communities have died out, have burned out, because people have the old teach the young, but the young don't grasp it. They don't take it into their own account. They don't use it. The ones that are still intact, though, are the ones that have established Jewish schools in their communities, the ones that have taken those ideals of Jewish families and brought them really in and brought them deep close. So Jewish nationalistic, which is a way that Jewish youth should be looking at these things through organizations like NCSY, woo, and B'nai Kiva and other Jewish organizations that really push those Jewish ideals. There's actually a saying that a lot of this you can relate to, which is, if there are no kids, where do the old goats come from? So if there's no young goats, where are the old goats going to come from? Where are the old goats going to come that are going to teach the young generation? Where are the old people that taught you going to come from if you don't even have those ideals? Thank you for listening. This is this week's Dvar Torah. Have a good one.